I've been running into a number of people who list a different location on their social media than they're really living. And it got me thinking about is that credible? Is that a little bit of crud? Is that dubious? And so I don't know what the end result will be, but I wanted to answer a question for dear credibility expert. So for those who are interested, head over to YouTube. And the final product on YouTube is called, it's in the YouTube channel, youtube.com/credibility nation. And I've answered 54 questions so far focused on credibility, and I answer them in 10 minutes. So you want quick micro learning, bite size chunks of information, head over to youtube.com/credibility nation. Hi, Mitchell Levy, global credibility expert, and I have a very interesting question. This is one that came about just from watching, by being curious, and I've run across 5 people in the last 2 weeks that have had different locations listed on their social media than they really were. Now, one of them or two of them, they were digital nomads, so they don't actually have a location. Um, Two of them, I think, were just because they don't stay on top of social. And one of them is the city that they actually live in is not as, are you ready? Sexy as as uh, as the actual city they put down, and the actual city was only 2 hours away, so they put that down. So let me ask the formal question: is it dubious to put down the wrong physical location on social media? Um, and and I don't want to answer in absolutes. Particularly, what I want to say is the social media companies. One of the things I'm going to recommend, one of the things I'm going to suggest, as the world gets more and more digital, free flowing. People make decisions to, in many cases, not actually have a physical place to live. People who affectionately call themselves people who are digital nomads. I would love to have on social media, instead of actually putting a physical address, having those people actually say digital nomad. Like, what a great way to open up a conversation when you first meet somebody or somebody goes to connect to you, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn or somewhere else, and on their location it said digital nomad. Like, that's like where are you now? Where are you today? It's better than how's the weather in terms of starting the conversation. So I'm going to make a call out to social media companies. Let's add a new location in the location selection boxes that say digital nomad. Now, some people, if they live in the United States, have the ability, and you could just put United States. And I don't know, for me, that never felt comfortable for me, right? And so I there's no right or wrong. Is there a right or wrong? No, I assume there's probably not a right or wrong on that. I'm sort of looking at, if somebody lives in one location and they put a location that's 2 hours away because that other location is more prominent. So is that dubious? Dubious seems like it's on the right or wrong thing. This is where there's a really fine line. What I'm going to say, it's a little bit of crud. Okay, crud is the stuff that you do that slightly hurts your credibility. Crud is sort of like, go to crud CRED if you actually are thinking about crud, it is things that you do that sort of make you, sort of raise your eyebrow, like Spock did in Star Trek, like, so, it doesn't hurt your credibility, but it makes you question a little bit. Oh, if they change that a little bit, what else are they slightly changing? And so crud is my best example is simply, it's like going to the dentist. If you go to the dentist and you have a little bit of plaque on your teeth, you're not guaranteed a cavity. But the more plaque you have on your teeth, the more, or the higher potential of you having a cavity, the more crud that lists on your social media and elsewhere, the better chance that you're never going to be contacted when people start doing research on you. So, in terms of when you're at a physical location and you put a location that's a little bit a while away, I don't know. We have to think about what is the proper location? What is the proper time frame? I'd love your thoughts and opinion on that. Is it okay if you're in a state that has only one really big city? Do you say the city, even though you might be 2 hours away? So I'd be curious to hear your feedback. Is there a particular location that makes sense? Now, I've bumped into people who are moved, and they moved 2 or 3 years ago, but they never went back into their social media to update that. Um, I don't know. Once again, I think that's a pretty significant amount of crud, particularly those people who are using social media to reinforce their credibility. Because once again, if somebody knows you're in a different location than the location you're in, that represents crud. It represents an opportunity for you, for whatever reason, not being up to speed on where things are at. And once again, the person who is reaching out to you is sort of saying, hey, if the person doesn't keep up with their own location, what are they going to do for mine if that's something they need to do for me? So I guess I'm sort of coming up with the answer as I'm thinking this through. And that is, I'm going to encourage people to have a location that is close to where they are physically located, to have a location that represents sort of where they are. I'm in Northern California, specifically Silicon Valley. I know I've put the specific city I've been in, sometimes Cupertino. I've put Silicon Valley and other times. I don't think I've ever put Northern California, but Northern California might be an interesting location. I don't think I'd put California or the United States. And once again, I still want to call on the social media companies to put in location that is digital nomad. If you don't have a physical place that you continually call your own, and you're however reason you're doing your digital nomading, I might encourage to put that down and start making calls for us to be able to do that. I think I'm comfortable with that answer. I'm going to say the answer is yes. It is. There's a little bit of crud by not having your location in social media be as current as it needs to be. Feel free to reach out for and submit your credibility questions. We have a URL. We'll put that on the thing. If you have particular questions you want to submit to Dear Credibility Expert, there's a URL you can go to. It's ahata.pub/ask Dear Credibility Expert, and submit a video, and we'll include the video, or submit an audio, and we'll include the audio at the beginning of the question. And I look forward to getting feedback on this particular episode because I'm really curious about this, as well as hearing questions and getting feedback on other episodes. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care. Bye now. All right, so shorter than I normally do on credibility questions. I didn't know how long it would take. I'm comfortable with that response. And I think what that means is over time, we should be looking and keeping our eyes out for other things which represent crud, other things that just slightly deteriorate our ongoing level of credibility. Anyhow, thanks for tuning in. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to reach out. Look forward to engaging with you. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye now.